Now it's time to see how to do project 2, which is MyInterest / index.htm. I'm going to start off by downloading the MyInterest site compressed version. And that opened up in my downloads folder. And I need to connect to my web space on Bluehost. And I'm going to open that up into a new window. And now I need to go to my IMS222 folder. Which is right there. And I'm just going to drag project 2 template right over there. And now it's time to rename it from project 2 template to MyInterest. And you can see that I have a whole folder structure with fonts and images. I have an index page, which is going to be our home page. I am just going to take a peek with the assignment viewer and see if that shows up on the MyInterest site. I'm going to do a search for Hopkins. And there I am, and yay, it shows up. Woohoo! Let's go ahead and open up just that page because I don't want to reload the assignment viewer for everybody for everything that I'm doing. So I've got a website complete with some kind of ugly styling, and we'll work on that here a little bit later. So let's see what let's get to work. I'm gonna open up my index.htm with bb-edit. And this is actually a good place to start figuring out what I want to show. So my interest is going to be music. So I am going to rename this to MyInterest by Kirk Hopkins. And I said that my project is going to be music. So I'm going to call my CSS music, and I'll put a 01 in there because it's our first time working on that. And let's go ahead and rename the corresponding CSS document to music. And let's see, the index page is also usually known as the home page. And these are the menu items that I want to show on the page. And I'm going to rename these from page 1 to whatever I'm going to call them. And let's see, what do I want to talk about on my MyInterest site with music? I think I'm going to make it personal because it needs to be things that are about me. So I'm going to call this one band, and this one drums, and maybe I'll tell you about myself. So I'll do Kirk's history maybe, and I don't know, maybe a contact me page. No, I know what I'll do. I'll do videos. And so it looks like I'm going to make this site more about some of my music, and I'm going to do iTunes. Yep, that looks pretty good. So let's go ahead and alphabetize this. A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K. And we don't need page 6, so I'm going to delete that, and I'm going to delete page 6 over here. And now I need to rename my actual web pages. So this one is going to be called band because that makes sense. And page 2 is going to become drums. And iTunes is going to become, sorry, page 5 is going to become iTunes. Now this one's a little bit tricky because you don't want to do a question apostrophe in there. And we could do camel casing, or we could do an underscore. I think I'm going to do an underscore in that one today. And I'm going to do videos here. So I have a folder structure for, maybe I did a wireframe earlier on doing this. Maybe I'm just making it up out of my head. Actually, that's what I'm doing at this particular time. And so I need to rename my folders over here, the actual folder. So it doesn't really matter which one I rename. So I'm just going to rename each of these. Page 2 is going to become drums. And page 3 is going to become iTunes. And page 4 is going to become Kirk's history. And page 5 is going to become videos. Good, great. So let's save this page and refresh. And look at that, I have home, band, drums, iTunes, Kirk's history, videos. Check out the style sample. Ooh, that's got all kinds of craziness in it. And I'm going to go back a page. So this is, again, my home site. And I think it would be nice now to go ahead and change the font style of the site. So I went out looking a little bit earlier, and I found one that I kind of like called Fofer font, and I'm going to download that. And let's pop it open, and here's bfonts.com.url and fofer.otf. Now usually fonts are going to be for the web are going to be EOT, SVG, TTF, things like that. But this particular font is an open type format, and I did a little research, and it looks like most web browsers support OTF. So for this particular site, I'm going to go ahead and give it a shot with Fofer. And now I need to edit my CSS. And my CSS has a font in there for 1942, which was also in the fonts folder. And so I'm going to cheat a little bit and copy that font and rename it to Fofer, capital F. And this one is an OTF. It's in the fonts folder. So that's going to be Fofer. And that'll be OTF. And that's the last one. So I'm going to delete all this. And now on the general site setting, I want to add the Fofer font. And if it can't find the Fofer font, it'll use the font 1942. And if it can't find that, it'll use sans serif. Now, because I provided you some starter information, and I did change the font, which you need to do, I'm going to remove the change or remove this comment. Okay? So let's check our font by reloading the page. And look at that, we have kind of a handwritten style font. Pretty cool, huh? Alright, now let's dive into some of the pages. On the band page, I'm probably going to have photos of the band, maybe, possibly. So let's put the page name there, band, because that might look nice. And it looks like I've got something here for video. That probably is going to need to be on the videos page. So I'm going to copy that and open up my videos page. And I'm going to put it right there on the videos page. And again, to be consistent, I'm going to have a page header called videos. And let's take a look at how one of those looks. Let's look at the videos page. And it looks like I've got no styling, but I have a video. Woohoo! How about that? So let's go back and look at our index page. And our index page has a link reference for music. I'm going to follow a similar format and rename that to lowercase m. And I'm going to rename the actual document. That message we just saw was I lost connectivity to the server for a split second, but it came back, so we're good to go. So this line is going to need to be copied on every page in place of the other line. So on the final project, I'm going to show you how to use PHP to include the header area, which is going to be all of this in one page, and the footer area, which is going to be all of this in one page. And so we won't need to do this craziness I'm about to show you of rebuilding this page every single time. So because I don't have that in place, we're not using PHP yet, I'm going to copy this navigation stuff from the index page, and I'm going to manually put it on the videos page. Oops. Paste. And so now when I go to the videos page, it should have, yes, I've got my navigation is correct and my video is showing in there. How about that? That's actually going to work for this project. Good. So I need to do that on all the pages. I'm pretty happy with it. If I'm not happy, I probably want to make a change now because it's going to be a pain to go back through all the pages. So let's go to the drums page. And I tell you what, I am going to grab from the header up to the top. And I'm just going to replace that every time. That's going to get, that's going to get everything except I missed this one, which was music by Kirk Hopkins. So now I'm going to copy that and save it and go over to my band page and paste it on my band page. That's going to fix my title. And I already did that one, and now I'm going to do the videos page. What pages do I have left? I have a iTunes page. And I already had my index. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages. That should be right. That should be all of them. So I shouldn't have the band information on 2 pages, and it looks like I've got this butted up against the very edge of the page, which is kind of ugly. And lo and behold, I gave you responsive design, which needs to be changed. So let's dive into some responsive design. I think I'm going to put on the body tag, I'm going to add some padding. And let's make it 2M. And reload our page. Oh, that's so much nicer. I've got that space around there. And maybe I want to do it a different way because now this is not going up to the edge. But I think I'm okay with that particular look at this time. So let's see what's going on with responsive design in the backgrounds. And it looks like I've got background, change this. So let's do I don't know. Let's do EF, EF, EF. And because I changed it, I'm going to take that off. And let's do FE, FE, FE on that one. That's the color of the text. And you know what? I changed my mind. For responsive design, I don't really need to change this information. I'm not going to change the body color. So I'm just going to chuck that. So what's going to happen is the navigation is going to change when the web page size changes. And then let's get rid of the body color on everything. Looks like I've got some neat things for articles. We'll have to come back to that. So if I reload, now everything's always white, which is a little too much for me. Let's go up to where we have color. And let's reverse it. Let's go with EF, EF, EF for the general color of everything. And then let's change our, again, that's text color. We should have a background color somewhere. There it is. Let's set that to pretty dark. Looks like I had a little network blip there again. And sometimes your page kind of gets cached a little bit, so I'm going to change my CSS. We're on the band page. So I'm going to go to the band page and I'm just going to change this number to a 2. Kind of want to figure out what your CSS is going to look like before you start changing it on all the pages. Alright, so let's look at the CSS, because I don't think I really found the color. I'm gonna look at the color. Every time I see a color, I'm gonna make a change, I think. So I think I want my background to be real dark. Maybe I need to add background color. Background color. And I'm gonna make that real dark. And I'm going to make this one color as the color of the text. I think I had that backwards earlier. We'll do EFs on that. And then let's make our links an obnoxious red. I'll do the little cheat bright red there for a little bit. And I changed it, so I shouldn't have changed this in there. Cool. And you're going to need to go through all of these things and see if you are happy with how things look. There we go. And it looks like I need some text to see what's going on with text. So let's put some text in here. And the text is going to be in an article. Now, I think I'm going to grab some lorem ipsum text. And that might be enough. That's just kind of bogus text. Save that and reload my page. And look at that, I've got 3 columns and it's in white. It's a little small, a little bit on the small side. So let's look at our CSS again. And I'm going to go to this general settings and I'm going to see if I can set a font size of 2M. And I think that's going to affect everything. Oh no, spinning wheel. All right, that's a little bit on the big side. There we go. 1M is a little too small. Let's try 1.2. And it's gonna vary with your fonts. What font you pick, how big that needs to be. And that's too big. Actually, that was pretty good for the article though. All right. So let's talk content again here for a little bit. On my band page, I'm probably going to have some pictures of the band. So let's do an image. And I'll need some alt text. And I'm just going to call that shot of the band. And I need to get some images over here. And I'm going to go ahead and leave this images directory called images. And I have some images in my downloads folder. There's a drum set. Here we go. Here's one. This is 1.1 megabytes, so we're going to need to do a little work with this. So I'm going to use my editor and adjust the size. And I think I'll drop it to 1,000 pixels wide. And then, I think I'm going to do some cropping. So I'm just going to cheat a little bit and copy that. I think I can do this. And this program actually kind of shrunk it down there for me, which is pretty cool. And this is called Preview. And then I'm going to export that as a JPEG. And I'm going to call this shot of the band. And I'm going to use underscores because spaces on the web is usually bad. And I'm going to put that, set that as a JPEG. And let's just go ahead and put it back in the downloads folder. Now I've got shot of the band. I need to copy that over to images. Uh-oh, can't be found. So I suspected I kind of lost my connectivity there for a minute. So I'm gonna refresh, reconnect to myspace. And if this doesn't work, I might need to reboot. I'll try it a couple times. Looks like I might be connecting this time, maybe not. I did. All right, I'm going to move that to a new window. And now I need to work back to my web space. It's good that I didn't have to reboot, especially since I'm recording with QuickTime. Get back to my IMS222 folder and my MyInterest folder. And let's see if the image copied. It did copy. How about that? So I don't like to retype. Oh, nope, but 0 bytes. It didn't really copy. So I'm going to copy over top of that and replace it. And it is 175 kilobytes, which is well within our class image size range, and it was 1,000 pixels wide, so we know we're good to go there. So now I need to put that as my image, and that was in the images folder. And its actual name is shot of the band.jpg. Let's see if that works. I'm going to do Command Shift Reload. That's not working. I am going to kill my web page because it wasn't very happy about losing the network connection either. I'm going to quit Chrome. And I'm going to reopen Chrome. And I copied my web address, so I am able to jump straight there again. Cool. I'm not sure about the white strip there. I'll probably need to do something about that. But I have an image and I have a whole bunch of text, and my text is way too small. So let's change the article text. Let's look for article. And I'm going to set the article text size at the very top. And this is alphabetical, if you didn't notice that. And I'm going to do font size of 1.2 M. And that'll change everywhere a font was used in an article tag, it'll change that. Let's go a little bit bigger than that. Cool. And let's give articles a little bit of padding. We'll try 1M. That's a little too much. Try half an M. There we go. That's better. So you can see it switching from 1 column to 3 columns to 4 columns. That's all done in the CSS in the responsive design section. See if the screen is in that width range. It's going to do 3 columns. Pretty cool. And if it's in that range, it's going to do 4 columns. All right, and I had my video on my videos page, so let's remove the video. And then, like the header section, I should probably come up with a footer section and copy that to all of my other documents. So I'm going to go ahead and have a footer, and I'm going to call this Kirk's Music Site. And I'm just going to grab from there down and save that. Again, when you do PHP, you won't need to do this over and over again. It pains me to have to do this over and over again because I know that there's a better way to do it, but we don't know how to do that yet, so I can't do that. So what we're really doing is we're making a whole bunch of individual web pages that all kind of look like they're on, they look the same, so that the user doesn't really think that they're different pages. They think that they're on a full site. All right, let's do a couple more things and then I'll call this quits. I'm going to change the header tags so that they're white. So I'm going to look for H1. Oh, it looks like I did all the headings as the same color. So let's do complete white. Cool. And I'm probably going to want to check my spelling before I call this thing done. And it looks like I want to get rid of this apostrophe because that looks really dorky with this particular font. I'm not sure if I should say dorky or not, but oh well, too late. So let's get rid of the Kirk's. Oh, and it's too bad because I'm going to have to do that on every page now. Should have decided it beforehand. Kirk's history videos. Okay, that's good. So probably on the drums page, page 2 content goes here. Obviously I don't want to leave it like that. I don't know. I probably will have, to stay consistent, I should have drums in the H1, and then maybe picture of drums goes here. Maybe brands of drums go here. So just placeholders for a little bit while I think about what I want to put in there. iTunes. Now, if I wanted to have an icon for iTunes, that would be okay. That because it's like it's an official thing. It's Apple's thing, so I could put an iTunes icon in there. But all the other images would need to be original images. So I'm probably going to put iTunes logo here, and then maybe links to iTunes music, maybe Kirk's music, maybe my bands that I like, etc. So you might be asking yourself, how much content do I need on this site? Well, I can't answer that because I don't know what you're trying to tell me. So if you're trying to tell me, well, in my case, I'm trying to tell you about music, and you go to the iTunes link, well, you would expect to see iTunes information, and you would expect to see some kind of songs, and this is way too small, so you'd want that to be bigger so that somebody who's 40 years old can read the thing. And you would want to have all your own original content, because why am I going to your site if I can get to that information from somebody else's page? Those things are what you want to ask yourself. You need to have enough content on here so that anybody who's going to your site is going to be able to find enough information and want to stay on your site for, I don't know, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. You don't want them jumping straight to somebody else's site right away. You might have links, like in this case, iTunes links. I'm probably going to have that on this page, and those would open up in a new window. So I would be doing something like this, where href equals whatever .htm, and I would be doing a target equals underscore blank, and link to this. Right, so that's going to make it open up in a new window. That makes sense. Right, so you get the idea. The videos page, I'm still going to have the videos. Cool. So that's pretty much what I wanted to show you to get you started. I'm probably going to go ahead and finish my site, so it may look different to what you see, but you're going to want to make sure that you've got some good CSS And like I got a problem here right now. You can't tell if you're hovering over this image or if it's linked or whatever. So I've got some styling problems that maybe I need underscores or I need to change the color, something like that. Changing the color is probably going to be enough. Let's go ahead and change the color. So hover, I'm going to change that to maybe a lighter shade of red. There we go. And maybe even lighter. Well, a different color at least, not necessarily lighter. Let's see what happens if I do a background color here. Of red. Yeah, that's not terrible. I like it better without the background color in this particular case. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and change the footer. Oh, I already changed the footer. Where was I? Kirk's music site. It looks a little goofy. Anyway, hopefully that's enough to get you started on your second project, which is the MyInterest site. Again, it should have all new content. It can have some links, some images for things if you are linking to things like Facebook or LinkedIn, which you're probably not going to have on this one. This site, again, needs to have different content than what you're going to have on your Hire Me site, which is going to be our final project. So I don't recommend putting a bunch of things that are interests of where you would want to be hired in the future. Just pick something like puppies or frogs or, I don't know, guitar strings or something like that, and give me a site on that, and I look forward to seeing what you have. Thanks.